Today, we're taking off on a journey through the skies to witness some of the most breathtaking and unforgettable aviation moments ever captured on camera. Whether you're a seasoned pilot or just someone who can't resist watching a perfect landing, there's something here for you. Now, let's start. On August 20, 2011, a biplane crashed during the Kansas City Air Show after the plane appeared unable to get out of a downward spiral.
Totally out of control.
That's not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have emergency personnel.
Look at that. What are they calling?
Oh, crying out loud.
Hey everyone, we do have
aerobatic ride number 9. Aerobatic ride number 9.
Oh my God!
Two Boeing Stearmans collided at the Flying Circus Aerodrome, Virginia on August 20, 2022. Landing aircraft had the right-of-ways over aircraft taking off. On September 1, 2007, a tragic accident occurred during an air show in Radom, Poland, known as the Radom Air Show, one of the country's largest aviation events. A scene from the first parachute training in 2016. The UH-1 helicopter landed hard due to a tailwind. It quickly regained balance and landed successfully. It was a little scary, but I'm glad it ended safely. Helicopter outfitted with water landing pontoons in calm seas decides to land instead in a visibility-restricted confined area on a ship with an inadequate space, not designed as a landing pad. The Greek Air Force water-bombing plane crashed while diving into a wildfire in southern Greece. The Canadair aircraft crashed into a ravine close to where the fire started. A United Boeing performing flight from Denver, Colorado to Honolulu, Hawaii, engine inlet separation and failure. The aircraft was subsequently towed off the runway to a remote parking stand. Revelers in Cocoa Beach, Florida, witnessed an unplanned ocean landing. The pilot, who put the plane down mere yards from the crowd, is okay, not injured. A Lufthansa Airbus performing flight from Frankfurt, Germany to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was under tow to the departure gate at Frankfurt's terminal when the tow truck caught fire. The flames substantially damaged the aircraft as well.
Los están cogiendo, Están vivos.
Several things may have occurred here, from winds, wake, pilot input, design, or a combination of all. A Cessna aircraft, piloted by a Chinese student undertaking a solo training flight, crashed on the empty grass beside the runway. Nose wheel would not come down. Pilot burnt off fuel and performed the inevitable landing. An aerobatic plane is racing just above the Vistula River, Poland, in 2011. The plane hits the water surface at a speed of 230 kilometers per hour. Here the pilot put a lot of things together. A sharp right turn, a high vertical speed of descent, which means the possibility of a vortex ring, and a turn into a tailwind. A helicopter crashed in the countryside in Boa Vista da Aparecida, Brazil. On August 5, 1991, during the Northeast Flight 91 air show in Schenectady, New York, a Canadian Forces Sea King helicopter lost altitude while performing a hover maneuver in front of a crowd of spectators. On the famous Mahu beach in Saint Martin, a group of girls experienced the full force of jet blast winds of the plane. The plane slid off a runway while landing at Yangon Airport in Myanmar as a freak storm hit the city. The nose and both wings were damaged.
Where's the captain? Where's the captain of the plane?
On March 26, 2018, an airplane was destroyed when it impacted terrain shortly after takeoff at Marina Municipal Airport, Marina, California. This was the moment a Royal Navy pilot crash-landed his classic aircraft perilously close to thousands of spectators, then hopped out to a round of applause. Rather than just parachute himself to safety, he managed to glide his plane to the ground. The footage shows the aircraft spiraling towards the ground before erupting into flames in Rowlett, Texas. The video shows how the aircraft crashed in the Santa Catarina Ixtahuacan Field, Guatemala, on January 20, 2015. A helicopter crashed on a steep slope near spectators at the Buffalo Bill downhill longboard competition at Lookout Mountain in Golden, Colorado. All 3 passengers of the helicopter walked away safely.
Get out of there! Somebody in there?
Delta Airlines Flight 1213, bound for Atlanta, was pushing back from the gate for departure when an engine caught fire. Flames seen in the engine tailpipe forced an emergency evacuation of 282 passengers via slides. A helicopter crashed while participating in an air competition. The military helicopter suffered a propeller failure during one of the maneuvers. They were competing in the International Army Games. And that was too close. An aircraft dragged its wing at the Allen Aero Club Air Festival, Argentina on April 6, 2023. A C-25 aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff in Crimea on September 2022.
Ёб твою мать!
The Frontier Airlines Airbus airliner caught fire during a hard landing in Las Vegas in July 2024. The flames were quickly extinguished. In 1984, NASA and the FAA performed a crash test with a Boeing 720 in the Mojave Desert to develop new aviation security requirements. An F-18 fighter jet crashed at an airbase in the Spanish city of Zaragoza, but the pilot ejected successfully. The F-18 was training for a flying exhibition. The pilot said that the plane had apparently suffered a malfunction. Pilot Dennis Kenyon performed at West Desert Air Park in Utah and crashes his helicopter during the show and walks away unhurt. A civilian contract helicopter, Russian Mi-17, crashed while making an emergency landing due to mechanical problems in Nuristan, Afghanistan on May 3, 2010. The aircraft was carrying ordnance. All 3 crew members survived. A passenger on an Asiana Airlines flight in South Korea opened the door of the plane during the flight. The passenger then was arrested. All 379 people aboard a Japan Airlines flight managed to escape after the plane burst into flames following a collision with a smaller aircraft at Haneda Airport in Tokyo. 4 of Haneda's runways were closed after the incident, disrupting travel plans for thousands of passengers. On the German Army Open Day on June 17, 2023, the big Sea King helicopter came near to the sandy ground. A lot of dust was raised and covered everything and all of the spectators. Nobody was able to see how the soldiers were lowered. A rescue helicopter has crashed on the side of Austria's highest mountain, the Großglockner. The pilot tried to balance, but it ended up crashing into the ridge. It was caused by a mechanical failure. All crew members are safe thanks to the fact that the pilot was able to maneuver the aircraft and land at the Jose Maria Cordoba Military Cadet School, Colombia. One of the closest shaves I've seen in a very long time. This crew had a very lucky escape. Can anyone identify the type of plane? The Frontier Airlines jet made a hard landing at San Juan Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport, Puerto Rico, damaging the plane, and then had to go around and attempt to land again.
Seconds for touchdown.
Oh dear.
Although the flames were spectacular, it was becoming clearer that this was no major catastrophe. The pilot perhaps wondering how many years his salary would be docked before he would finally finish paying for the damage.
Unfortunately caused us to stop still for a while.
During this maneuver, the pilot demonstrates a high capability of orientation.
Amazing! An aircraft landed with only one landing skid in a climbing area in Cochamo, Los Lagos region. The Airbus A300 is often a performer of impeccable soft landings, but this time in Fort-de-France, Martinique didn't. Air France slams down on the runway at Tokyo Narita after pilot-induced oscillation causes hard bounce on landing. A Navy helicopter crashed into Basco, Mexico. The aircraft was conducting a reconnaissance flight in the region. A working on-fire helicopter crashed into a quarry after the engine failed in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. A whole system acted in the same incident, upset Fiattle flew. A single-engine aeroplane crashed into a pickup truck on the 91 freeway in Corona. There were 2 people on the plane and 3 in the truck, and everyone got out. Now that's what we call a hard landing with style. Glad everyone is safe. A small plane crashed into the Caloosahatchee River near Fort Myers, with the pilot deploying the aircraft's emergency parachute.
We can't zoom it in, how?
On August 16, 2015, in Kirov, Russia, a Mi-2 helicopter was forced to make an urgent landing due to technical difficulties. The pilot maneuvered skillfully and brought the aircraft down in a controlled descent. In 1998, a Chinese aeroplane made an emergency landing in Shanghai. Front gear had issues after takeoff. Attempts to solve the issue were unsuccessful. Crew turned back, landed with gear retracted. In a tense incident, an emergency landing took place at Giuliani Airport, Ukraine. Footage of a Grumman F-6F Hellcat with damaged landing gear making an emergency landing on November 13, 1944. One engine failed and the plane crashed into a wastewater treatment plant building. The plane caught fire, 42 passengers were saved. It gives a good lesson in the importance of a decent rate of landing, especially on water. The pilot escaped injury and climbed from the cockpit before the aircraft was taken away on a crane truck. A Beechcraft 200 Super King Air made a belly landing at Muerto Miguel Airport in Argentina. The finish line is here. Don't forget to give us a like button and share your road encounters in the comments. And don't miss the video on the right side of the screen. See you soon.